Hi, I'm Josh, a managing consultant here at Pentest People. I'm here to talk about remote worker assessments and VPN configuration reviews. Now, these two assessments are very similar in nature. They're both designed to assess a given company's sort of remote kind of solutions to deal with remote workers. Now, obviously, these look vastly different for different companies. For some people this might just be a VPN. For other people this might be a whole suite of tools, whether it be sort of cloud-based tools, whether it be remote access desktop solutions, whether it be further VPN solutions. The remote worker assessment encompasses all of these different aspects of technology. The VPN assessment is very similar but considers a more restricted technical scope and considers the management of the remote technical solutions rather than just the actual technical configurations of the solutions. What you would typically expect to get out of these are very similar in output. You'd obviously receive a report, a debrief session regarding how the assessment's been undertaken, your typical vulnerabilities. But what they aim to do is obviously assess the remote solutions sort of resilience to remote threats, how the specific remote solutions can deal with particular attacks that you'd expect to see against externally facing infrastructure that may allow access to an internal infrastructure, because at the end of the day these specific types of technical infrastructure effectively provide the keys to the kingdom for an attacker. If these were to be breached, the majority of the time allow particularly unrestricted access to a given internal infrastructure, which could lay rise to a multitude of threats, your ransomware, you name it. So it's imperative that these are secured as appropriately as possible. The remote worker assessment, as I mentioned, this can encompass a number of things. So obviously if you've got a VPN, if you've got sort of a remote desktop solution, sort of your Azure virtual desktops, if you've got firewalls that are in place to restrict access to particular services, you name it, we can kind of sort of review that for you and then include this in an overall report, so you're getting a picture of the overall threat surface rather than the individual technical assets. The VPN configuration review will consider a specific VPN and its configurations, so looking at how you manage the VPN, how the VPN's technically configured, encryption, sort of standard controls that you'd expect to be in place for a VPN, to advise on how these could be better secured if at all. These reports are notoriously positive in a sense that will endeavour to hit home what you are doing well, because I think that's particularly imperative when you're standing up new solutions such as these, especially in a world like this where everybody's working from home. You need to make sure that these things are as appropriately hardened as possible to ensure that your internal network and your data is secured as best possible, especially with more and more people working from home.